Hello. Today we're going to talk about this chart right here. And well, first of all, if you're going to play, you should know you have chords A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and you should know the minors for those. So G minor you should know how to play, F minor, and so on and so forth. Except F minor is kind of a rare chord to be asked to play. And then you should know your sevenths. And then when you get into other things, diminished and so on and so forth, that's at a different level. But these are kind of basic. And so what are there? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21 chords you need to know to play. 99% of the stuff you want to play. Except when you start getting into drop tuning. Then you need to know your fretboard, that your strings are counted from the bottom up, so your high E is the first string and your low E is the sixth string. So if you put your finger on the 5th fret of your 6th string, that's an A. If you go down, that's a D. You go down again, that's an E. That right there is an A progression. A, D, E progression. Okay? You might hear people say when you're playing a progression, you're playing on the 1, which would be the A, or the D, which would be the 4, and E would be the 5. In between these notes are sharps and flats. But sometimes you get in between notes and there are no sharps and flat. For example, on the 6th string, if you were to go to the 7th fret and go to the 8th, you would go directly from a B to a C. And these types of patterns of going directly from one note to another occur up and down your fretboard. But it is to know where your flats and your sharps are. So we're going to do a pattern. It's good to own a chart like that too. And it's also good to own what's behind me, a big book with a list of taking chords to the next level. I mean, not only knowing your majors and your minors and your sevenths, but your diminished and your suspend, and so on and so forth. But anyway, here's pattern in A. If I turn it on. And so most of the time when we play or people demonstrate leads and stuff, they tend to be notes like that. They don't normally, or they don't as much as they should, get into the sharps and the flats. But you saw that pattern I just played. There's a whole bunch of notes in between. And so I think it's real important to be able to develop patterns that have the sharps and flats in them. So you take that pattern I just did. And let's start playing some of the notes in between. See if there's some licks that we could add to that pattern. Now, I played the that would be a E flat or a D sharp when I did that pattern, and it just adds a whole new texture to it. If I played right here, right there, you're talking about that'd be a D flat. You'd go to your chart and you'd say, let's see, what did he just do? He played the 4th fret on the A string. That's a D flat or a C sharp. So adding these sharps, these flats, if you just play notes without getting sharps and flats, you're leaving out a whole different, just a bunch of notes that could make whatever you're trying to express through a lead that much more full. So what I would do, I'd practice a pattern like that A pattern, and I would concentrate on playing the notes in between. then I do a lot of triplets, and so triplets is a natural because you're playing the notes in between. See, you'll find out that these flats and these sharps, you can go off, and it does. When you do scales, you'll hit on them, but when you intentionally hit on them and then come back to the note, it just adds that much more. So I guess the thought for the day would be play the notes in between. And it's you don't have to do it in pull-offs. You just play it straight. I think if you play with it, you're going to come up with some really cool just patterns that are going to be so much more full. I'm doing it here in this demonstration is in A, but I mean we could be doing the stuff in another key. So here's a pattern in E. You could do the same thing here. To me, it just adds so much more color than just playing the same notes and not trying to play the notes in between. Playing every note on this lick. Anyway, give that a try. Let me know what you think.